Hello guys, here I have Huawei Wi-Fi router model AX3 and I will show you how you can configure it. In order to proceed, you will need to find the IP address on the back of the router. Here on the sticker you can see http://192.168.3.1. This is the address we will put in the address bar in our browser. So next, if you're wondering how you can reset it, you can find the pinhole on the back of the router. You should turn on the router in your outlet, use a pen, and you should press the button which is in the pinhole. Once you press, you can hear a click. You hold it for 30 seconds. The red light on front of the router will turn off. You release the button, it will get red again. You can use only one Ethernet cable. You just plug it to the modem and you will search on your computer for Wi-Fi network with the name of Huawei something. If you connect to this Wi-Fi network, you will be able to configure it using the IP address what we found on the sticker. You need to plug your Wi-Fi router to the computer. For that reason, you should have a Ethernet cable. So you plug this cable to any ports on the back and another end to your Ethernet port on your PC. Also, you need to plug this router to your modem. So you will need to have a second cable and plug it in any port on the back, and another end goes to the modem. Okay guys, so to configure your Wi-Fi router, first you need to plug it to your modem using the Ethernet cable. And now once it's on, and presuming it's already reset to its factory defaults, you can look into the Wi-Fi connections available on your PC, and I have one already. It says Huawei-0 something, and if I connect to it, it's the open Wi-Fi, doesn't need the password. So once you connect it and you use the IP address provided on the sticker on the back of the router, this page will open, and to proceed we need to check this box. Everything is in Chinese because my router, it's not global version, it's Chinese, so we need to deal with that. Here you have two choices. On the left is actually to configure your router, and on the right side to configure router in the mesh mode. So we proceed with the left picture, blue button here. Here you have three choices. All this depends from your internet provider requirements. This one is the way to connect to the modem using account number and the password. This one using DHCP service from your modem, and this one using static IP address. So we pick by default, it's the most common way to connect. DHCP service, we hit blue button and we continue. Here we have Wi-Fi name for the network. I will type Huawei 1. This one is the password. I will type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here we repeat the password. And this we check if you want to use the same password to log into the router using this page. So I just press blue button. This we skip, we don't need to set up anything here. Blue button again. Now Wi-Fi router is saving configuration and rebooting. Now we hit the blue button again and we are on a welcome screen. Make sure you are connected to the right Wi-Fi network. In my case it should be Huawei-1. I am connecting now. This is the home page of my Wi-Fi router. We can try to translate it using the right click and choose translate to English. I don't get the translation now, but if we will wait a bit more, probably we will get it. Here is the page when you choose how you connect your Wi-Fi router to the modem. It's broadband connection using account number and password, DHCP method, configure your router as a bridge, and this one it's a static IP. We don't change anything. We move on the next one. Here we have configuration, and if you look closely we have only one network here which says Huawei 1. It's because of this feature which combines two Wi-Fi networks, 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz in one. So you can use that if you prefer that method, but I like to have them split in two parts. Here you can change the name of the network, 2.4. You can change the encryption method here. Change Wi-Fi network password. This check mark is to keep the same password to log into the router. You can disable Wi-Fi networks by pressing on these two buttons, sliders, and we move on. I just press this to save my settings. We move on to the next page. This will show you all connected devices to this router at the moment. We move on the next page. This one is the statistic, advanced settings, and so on. Here you see the information of my router. Second choice on the left would be to check the latest firmware if it's available and update it. I already running on the latest one, so I don't need to do anything. This button to check and this one to update, I guess. Okay, more settings here we have, but we need to translate this page to English to clearly understand what's happening here. If we choose the second from the bottom option, we have this menu and we choose this one. This will save the configuration of your router. This one will restore the configuration of your router. And this one is to factory reset. And if you do this, it will do complete reset. And if you do this, it will do reset but keeping network settings. Try to connect to my Wi-Fi router configuration page. Here we can try to translate it again, translate to English from context menu, and it should work. Now we have English here. So I will put the password here. Everything is in English now, and that's good. So this is the home page. You see some statistics here. Browse some extra features and you can restart the router from here. Next we move to the configuration page for connections between modem and your Wi-Fi router. You have 4 choices here. Broadband, account online, you can see what's that. DHCP, this is the one we're using now. This is the bridge configuration. And the last one is gonna be static IP address. We don't change here anything because DHCP, that's what was suggested by the internet provider. We move on the next screen. This is the Wi-Fi configuration. We see here updated names for my two networks. That one, the feature which prevented me to saving properly my new configuration. Now you see the translation here as well. In this section you choose the signal strength, and if you look here it's sleep, general, and this one it's not translated but it stands for strong signal. So we stay with a strong signal and we move to the next step. Here you see all connected devices to this network, so we have only one at the moment. And the last screen, you have router information, serial number, IP address, etc. Second option on the left, it is the management of firmware updates. Here you checked for the update, and this one saying you it's the latest version already. In this section you can change settings for your local network. Moving on the next, this is the Wi-Fi advanced settings here. I will not change anything because so far so good. This screen is quite interesting. You can export your configuration and use it as a backup. Here you can restore from the backup your configuration. In this section you can do factory reset, and if you don't use this option it will do complete factory reset, or it will keep the configuration if you choose this option. Here I hit next, agree. I will choose while using the app the permission for the location. Here it's important part to update the application if it asks. Also keep in mind today is 2022 October and this solution is viable for now, for today. So I hit update. I hit update again. Now we need to confirm the permission to install the application. I press on AI Life on the slider. I hit install. I don't open it for now. I want to show you what you have two versions of AI Live now. If you look at the top two lines, we need to uninstall the first one. And if you're not sure, if I hold the icon on it, I have little letter I press on it. And at the bottom, I see version 11. And if I do the same for second, I see the version 13. So we keep the version 13 and we uninstall the version 11. Okay, now make sure you are connected to the same network Wi-Fi router is connected as well. The Wi-Fi network I'm connected currently, it's Huawei 15. So I get back to the application, I do next and agree. I do while using the app the permission for location. The welcome screen, what you see now, is for Canadian region and I already tried. It will not work for my Chinese router. So I will press on four dots at the top right and you see here country region Canada. I change this to China and I do switch. Okay, it will exit from the app and I will run it again. Okay, so here's the app. I do agree. The welcome screen is different now. I didn't do anything, but my router already appeared here. If you wait a bit, you see now the image of my router updated. If I press once on it, you see it's downloading the plugin to control my Wi-Fi router. Now the bottom you see plugin downloaded, and when I press on Huawei Wi-Fi EX3 app, we got to login page. I need to enter the password here, which I set up before. I hit next. This is the welcome screen of my Wi-Fi router. We have a plan of my house, which you can change it later. You have some statistics, you have some shortcuts for useful features, like parental control, like diagnosis, like you can test the network speed now, and you have game acceleration here. So lower than that you have show more, and actually you get to more settings. So we go to Wi-Fi stealing prevention feature, and here you can choose different levels of protection against brute force attack. Here you have firewall settings. This one is for Internet of Things devices in your home. Here you can set up guest Wi-Fi network. This section to update your firmware. I'm already on the latest one, so it will not work for me. This one, I guess, to see other Harmony OS devices in your network at home. Here you change router login password. This one is the most interesting part here, Wi-Fi management. So first section you have here. At the top you have prioritize 5G network. So if you press on that, it will combine two networks in one. So in a list of your available networks, you will have only one, which will call in Huawei 15 at this point. And me personally, I
prefer to keep them separate so I can choose which device to connect to what network. So talking about other features here, you can disable network like that. You can hide the network if you wish so, it will still work, but you will need to type the name of the network manually. Here you can update the name of your network, so even you can change the name completely. And in order to save all your settings, you have a check mark at the top. I'm not gonna use that, but this is a check mark to save all settings. Okay, here, this one, the feature I love, you can change the strength of your router and I already chose extra strength. Next section, it's called Wi-Fi quality, and in order to optimize bands of your Wi-Fi router, you need to hit on this optimize at the bottom of the screen. It will reboot the router and you will get both excellent if you are lucky enough. Here you have other few options like Wi-Fi relay for Wi-Fi extender. I don't have one. Here you can connect without the password using WPS button on the top of your router. Here you can set up working hours for your Wi-Fi router, and this one to use a compatibility mode for your Wi-Fi 5 devices. Few more options left here like network settings, and here we talk about how you connect your Wi-Fi router to your modem. But as I said before, this is controlled by your internet provider. So you just choose the settings they tell you. Next we have router settings. You can restart the router here, we don't want that. You can control the light on your router. And here you can save the configuration of your router and use it in case of emergency you lost your settings. Here we have a weekly report, which we don't need for now. And if we go back at the very top right, you have 4 dots. And if you press on it, you can see some extra information about your router. Thank you for watching and please press on like button.